It's sleek, efficient, and offers classic Gulfstream comfort. All for under $5 million. This is the Gulfstream G150, a light jet with surprising range, smart design, and serious pedigree. Today, we're taking you inside for a full tour and spec breakdown. And one underrated feature might make it the best value jet in its class. Let's start where you'll actually be spending your time, the cabin. And the first thing that hits you is the space. The Gulfstream G150 cabin stretches 23 feet 9 inches from the cockpit bulkhead to the aft lavatory. Now, that might not sound massive compared to the big boys in the Gulfstream family, but here's what matters. It's longer than most super mid-sized jets in its class, and Gulfstream actually knows how to use that space intelligently. The cabin width measures 6 feet 1 inch at its widest point. That's enough room for passengers to move around without doing that awkward sideways shuffle you get in smaller jets. The height tops out at 5 feet 11 inches, which means anyone under 6 feet can stand up straight and walk the length of the cabin without ducking. For the taller folks, you might need to bend slightly, but you're not going to feel claustrophobic like you would in some of those cramped regional jets. The standard configuration seats 8 passengers, but here's where it gets interesting. You can set this cabin up in multiple ways depending on what you need. Most G150s you'll find have a 4-place conference setup in the forward cabin, 2 seats facing 2 seats with a table in between. Perfect for business meetings at 45,000 feet. Behind that, you'll typically find a 3-place divan on one side and a single seat across the aisle. That aft-facing divan is actually pretty clever because it gives you flexibility. Need to transport a small group? Everyone's comfortable. Flying solo? Stretch out and use it like a couch. The seats themselves are proper business aviation seats, not airline hand-me-downs. We're talking full leather, multiple recline positions, adjustable headrests, and enough cushioning that you'll actually want to sit in them for 5 hours. Each seat has its own storage compartments, cup holders, and power outlets. Yes, you get USB ports and 110-volt power at every seat, because even in a jet from the early 2000s, Gulfstream understood that people need to stay connected. The galley sits up front near the entrance. It's compact but functional, with space for a coffee maker, storage for snacks and drinks, a trash compartment, and usually a small cooler. This isn't a full-service galley like you'd find on a heavy jet, so don't expect a convection oven or wine chiller, but it handles everything you need for typical flights under 5 hours. The lavatory is located in the aft cabin, and it's actually one of the better lavatories in the mid-size category. It's enclosed with a solid door, not a curtain, and includes a toilet, sink, mirror, and storage for supplies. There's even a small window back there. Is it spa-like? No. But it's private, functional, and doesn't make you feel like you're in a closet. Stick around until the end to see the one feature in this jet that most buyers don't even know exists, but makes all the difference on long flights. The cockpit. Now let's talk about the cockpit, because this is where the G150 really shows its heritage. Gulfstream partnered with Rockwell Collins to develop what they called the Plain View Avionics Suite for this jet. It's based on the ProLine 21 system, and when this jet launched, this was cutting-edge technology. You've got 4 large display screens dominating the panel, 2 primary flight displays directly in front of each pilot, and 2 multifunction displays in the center. These screens show everything from flight instruments to navigation maps, weather radar, traffic information, and system synoptics. The interface is clean, logical, and designed to reduce pilot workload. The G150 uses a dual-channel FADEC system for the engines, which means full authority digital engine control. Pilots love this because it simplifies engine management dramatically. You move the thrust levers and the computers handle the rest. No manual mixture controls, no worrying about over-temping the engines. It just works. For navigation, you get dual GPS, dual VHF radio, dual flight management systems, and WWAAS-capable approaches. The weather radar is mounted in the nose, and it's a good one. helping pilots navigate around storms with confidence. The autopilot system includes auto throttle, which reduces workload even further on long flights. Visibility from the cockpit is excellent. The windscreen is large and provides great forward and side views. The seating position is comfortable with easily accessible controls and switches arranged logically. Everything feels solid and well built, which is exactly what you want when you're hand-flying an approach in poor weather. Engine and performance. Under those engine cowlings, you'll find two Honeywell TFE 73140AR turbofan engines, each producing 4,425 pounds of thrust. These are proven, reliable power plants that have logged millions of flight hours across various aircraft types. Performance-wise, the G-150 cruises at Mach 0.75, which translates to about 520 miles per hour at altitude. Maximum speed touches Mach 0.85 or roughly 590 miles per hour. It's not the fastest jet in the sky, but it's quick enough to get you where you need to go efficiently. Range is where this jet really delivers. With 4 passengers and typical reserves, you're looking at 3,130 nautical miles. In practical terms, that means New York to Los Angeles, Miami to Seattle, or London to Dubai, non-stop. For a mid-sized jet, that's impressive range, and it opens up a lot of missions that would require a fuel stop in smaller aircraft. The G-150 climbs to its maximum altitude of 45,000 feet quickly and efficiently. Initial climb rate is strong at 4,000 feet per minute with light loads. Getting up to the flight levels fast means you're above most weather and traffic sooner, which translates to smoother, more efficient flights. Takeoff performance is solid. You need around 5,000 feet of runway at sea level on a standard day, which means you can operate from most regional airports without issue. Landing distance is even better at under 3,000 feet, giving you access to shorter runways that larger jets can't use. From a passenger perspective, this jet flies smoothly. The wing design provides good ride quality in turbulence, and the engines are relatively quiet for their class. You can have a normal conversation anywhere in the cabin without shouting, which isn't always the case in mid-sized jets. Price. Let's talk money. A new Gulfstream G150 originally sold for around $15 million when production ended. Today, you're looking at the used market, and prices typically range from $3.5 million to $5 million depending on age, hours, and condition. A well-maintained example with mid-time engines and a recent interior refurbishment will command the higher end of that range. For charter, expect to pay around $4,000 to $5,000 per flight hour. That makes it a popular choice for charter operators serving clients who want Gulfstream quality without heavy jet pricing. And here's that feature we promised earlier. The G150 has a unique baggage door design that allows ground crews to load and unload bags without entering the cabin. Sounds simple, but it means your cabin stays clean and private while servicing happens. It's the little details like this that separate Gulfstream from everyone else. The G150 proves you don't need to spend $50 million to get a legitimate Gulfstream experience. It's the smart choice for operators who prioritize efficiency, reliability, and that unmistakable Gulfstream quality. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of ultimate luxury, a like and a subscription would mean the world. And for those who dream of flying in style, click right here to watch our video on the 5 best Gulfstream private jets ever built. See you in the skies!